Around 900 AD, millions of Maya stopped building. They didn't move somewhere else. They stopped. In the Petén region of Guatemala, the city of Tikal once held 100,000 people. Stone pyramids rose 65 meters into the canopy. Aqueducts carried water through plazas where merchants called prices and children played. Then the construction stopped. Not gradually, abruptly. The last dated inscription at Tikal was carved in 909 AD. After that, silence. This wasn't unique to Tikal. Calakmul, Copán, Tikal, dozens of major centers emptied in less than a century. By 950 AD, the southern lowland Maya civilization had collapsed. Not fallen to invaders, not buried by disaster. The people simply left. Archaeologists call this the classic Maya collapse. Millions of individuals made the same choice at roughly the same time across a territory larger than Texas. For 150 years, archaeologists assumed war or plague. They looked for mass graves, siege evidence, bones marked by violence. They found almost none. The Maya cities weren't sacked. They were abandoned. Families took what they could carry and walked into the forest. The question historians couldn't answer was why. Start with the climate. Around 750 AD, the Yucatan entered a dry period, not a drought in the biblical sense, a sustained reduction in rainfall that lasted decades. The Maya built their cities on limestone, porous, water-hungry soil. Cenotes, natural sinkholes, were their primary water source. When rains fell less often, cenotes dropped. Archaeologists know this from tree rings, dendrochronology. Cypress and oak trees preserve annual rings that show wet years and dry ones. The rings from 800 to 1000 AD are narrow. The trees grew slowly. Water was scarce. Maya farmers faced the same constraint. Their milpa system, rotating fields of maize, beans, and squash, depended on seasonal rains. When rains failed, yields collapsed. But climate alone doesn't explain the collapse. Droughts happen. Societies adapt or migrate. The Maya did both. What made this different was timing. The drought arrived while the Maya state was already fragile. For 600 years, Maya kings had competed for power. Each built larger pyramids, commissioned more inscriptions, waged more wars to prove dominance. This arms race consumed resources. Forests were cleared for agriculture and construction. Quarries opened. Limestone dust covered the plazas. The environment paid the cost. By 800 AD, the Maya had deforested much of the southern lowlands. This mattered more than it seems. Trees regulate water cycles. They hold moisture in the soil. They stabilize climate. Fewer trees meant less rain. Less rain meant weaker harvests. Weaker harvests meant less tribute for kings. Kings responded by demanding more. This is where the archaeology becomes personal. In the 1980s, researchers at Copán found skeletal remains of commoners from the 850s. The bones showed malnutrition. The teeth showed stress lines, indicators of childhood hunger. These weren't exceptional cases. They were common. The entire population was undernourished. Hunger changes behavior. It erodes loyalty to distant kings. In the 870s, inscriptions show conflicts between cities intensifying, not the ritualized wars of earlier centuries. These were resource wars. Cities fought over water sources, farmland, tributaries. The state system fractured. By 900 AD, the calculus was clear. Stay in a city where the king demanded taxes and offered little security, or leave. Walk north to the Yucatan Peninsula, where water was more abundant. Walk to smaller settlements in the highlands. Walk anywhere but here. Millions made that choice. What's crucial, they didn't vanish. The Maya people survived. The civilization did too. In the north, around Chichén Itzá and Mayapan, populations grew. New cities rose. The Maya adapted. But the southern lowland cities, Tikal, Copán, Calakmul, were abandoned. The places, not the people, disappeared. This matters because it reframes how we understand collapse. We imagine civilizations falling like dominoes, one catastrophe, everything ends. The Maya collapse was different. It was rational. Individuals assessed their options and chose survival over loyalty. The state couldn't provide security or food, so the state lost legitimacy. The inscriptions stopped in 909 AD at Tikal because no one was left to commission them, not because conquest forbade them. The pyramids weren't destroyed. They were simply left to the jungle. Within decades, roots cracked the mortar. Within centuries, vegetation consumed the plazas. The cities became invisible. We find these ruins now because archaeologists hack through jungle with machetes. Because LiDAR scans penetrate the canopy and reveal hidden structures. Because we're looking. But for 500 years, the Maya cities were simply gone. Forgotten. Swallowed by the landscape they tried so hard to control. The collapse teaches us something uncomfortable. Civilizations don't fall because people are weak or foolish. They fall when the systems that sustain them, water, food, legitimate authority, break down faster than people can adapt. The Maya adapted. They survived. But the cities couldn't. And once people stopped believing in the cities, there was no reason to stay. 3 million Maya live today in Mexico, Guatemala, and Honduras. They speak Mayan languages. They maintain traditions that trace back centuries. They are the descendants of the people who walked away from Tikal. The collapse wasn't an ending. It was a choice, and the choice saved them. Subscribe for the stories behind history's forgotten decisions. The moments where ordinary people changed everything.